Dickens. Was Dickens a good family man? A la Shmoop.
That's part of the internal conflict that Dickens would have had with himself. So on the one hand, I think he felt himself to be a good parent in the sense that he put a roof over their head and he provided for 10 children, which is not easy, and sort of kept them fed and all those basic things. But in order to do that, it meant neglecting them in a personal way because you had to constantly be writing and constantly networking and making money. My impression of it is that no, he didn't have a terribly intimate relationship with any of his children. My sense of it is that his children were somewhat disappointing just sort of intellectually and by natural talent. I mean, here is arguably the most eminent writer of the period, of the half century, and of the Victorian period at large. And you would want, I think, his children to be politicians or to be famous writers in their own right, and they just didn't become that. I think he found it difficult to relate to them for that reason, because he couldn't relate to them in the way that he wanted to, which was through writing and intellectualism. He famously was not fond of his wife, or it ended up that way, and I believe it was his sister-in-law who he became infatuated with. And then she actually passed away, I think, prematurely. And the result of this was that his sister-in-law, in his mind, became sort of frozen in time as this ideal woman to which no other woman could compare, including his wife. So that obsession, I think, feeds both the creative side of him in figuring some of his later, female characters, but also wreaked havoc on his family happiness because of where his loyalties lay.
How did Dickens treat his children? Who did Dickens love more than his wife? How did Dickens incorporate Mary Hogarth into his stories? 10 kids. Wow, that's a lot of dirty diapers.